escalated quickly.
God damn it. So this episode, the brain in the attic. The brain's not in the attic for very long, so that's not the best name.
I wouldn't even call it a brain, even though they do.
No, it's a computer, really. Like, it's like RAM.
Once we've watched this episode, we are now 3 episodes away from Curse of the Shadow Borg, so whenever things shift and get nuts.
Fuck yeah. We get actual plot. Or probably more plot holes, really.
Probably.
After this episode. We opened the episode on Rappin Granny, and I'm not convinced this isn't, like, a track from her cassette tape. And she and Aaron are prepping for, I guess, a charity talent show that they're gonna have, or a charity performance of some kind. We only ever see them do this rap.
So I was trying to find, like, a track list for anything of what she's done. I can't find, like, an actual album, but it says that she released the single You Didn't Use Your Blinker, Fool, as a response to the DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince song, You Saw My Blinker.
That's hilarious. I saw that was a song.
Starting a feud.
You didn't use your blinker, fool.
Yes.
I might worship.
Oh god, I saw that was a song when we did the trivia episode. I didn't know it was in response to DJ Jazzy Jeff and fucking Will Smith.
You saw my blinker, bitch.
Did you mention the horrific dancing that Roland's dad was doing?
No, I was trying to avoid it.
Why did you remind me of it?
Right,
Because I hate you.
I don't even know how to describe. He was just like waddling around in the background,
jerking his arms around every once in a while. It was a real Cosby fest.
Oh god, I specifically hated it. We cut from Rappin Granny. She's like asking where the kids are, and of course they're at Hillhurst because where the fuck else are they going to be if they're not at the comic shop? They're just like hanging out, which is weird because the monsters still get onto them every time they're there. Drew is playing Flabber at chess.
Oh,
did it look like they were playing proper chess at all?
It did to me, because the only move I saw or remembered seeing was the knight. I don't think the knight moved in any other way other than the knight move.
And he got a checkmate when he moved the knight. And the checkmate from that move was probably legit?
There were so many pieces on the board,
okay.
I was so surprised.
Not.
Okay, so yeah, he...
I was like, he made a proper chess move, yes. Did he make a proper chess play?
No! Okay. Okay.
The knight is like the one thing I feel like people fuck up the most on the movement anyway.
You can say checkmate whenever, but if you're wrong, you get, like, demerited or something, right? Flabber, like, turns his head into a horse head like the knight piece.
He means it's like if you dropped acid and you were looking at a horse that was about to take you to hell. If he just had a horse head mask, it would have been so much funnier. But no, he had to, in pure Flabber fashion, peer out something from our nightmares.
Yes. Yeah, this is like 1,000 times worse than all of those. The Magnivores are up in the attic this whole time.
Either Wolfie or Fanula, I think, all of a sudden, like, perk up, they're looking up there, and somebody else is like, what's going on? Someone's upstairs.
The Magnivores have somehow pulled an artifact out of the comics.
Eye of Agamemnon.
It's Dicehead's brain. The problem is, the last time they wanted to pull something out of the comics, that was a whole plot for an episode. The episode with Queen Magna. That was the whole plot.
That's the only reason why Flabber's powers even hold any...
Yeah, because just not anybody can just pull stuff out of the comics, but apparently they fucking can now.
We don't see it though, do we? Isn't it just like they have it?
Yeah, they just are in the attic putting it on something in the attic, on Quincy Moto's old bed or something.
his drawer that he'd curl up in.
Right.
They're fucking with his old trinkets from his family.
It's all his football memorabilia.
What is this? I'm surprised we didn't get a deleted cut where Jar is going through his fucking drawer upstairs. Like, what is this?
His porno mags.
Family pictures. Yeah.
Typhus eats them.
Yeah.
Go.
Typhus.
Poor Quincy. For some reason, so his brain has two gimmicks. It's a spy camera, and then the second one is if you hold it for too long, which is anywhere from half a second to 10 seconds, your biggest fear manifests. It's more like a mild anxiety of yours.
Isn't really a fear, it's more just something you don't like.
Roland and Drew know, because from the comics, they know that the brain can be used as a spy device, so they're like, okay, let's take care of it. Drew is like actually floating it with his telekinesis, which is the smart thing to do, so you don't touch it.
And he
And-
never did it a fucking again.
No, this is the last time he uses telekinesis at all the whole episode. Wolfgang just grabs it because it's a ball floating and he's a dog. Whatever,
Yeah,
valid.
well, and they're trying to stop him. They're like, oh.
Yeah, they say no.
And he's just like, fuck it, it's round. I need it in my hands.
Yeah, he grabs it, and then all of a sudden, giant fleas appear.
And
It's
they don't
really
do
bad.
themselves any favors because then they make it like jump on Wolfgang not once, not twice, but at least like 3 times.
Yeah.
And you just can't meld that CGI and live action. It doesn't work.
This fucking brain rolls down the stairs. So Joe grabs it because she thinks her super strength she can crush it. Grabs it and starts to crush it, and it like glows purple. And then Joe's greatest fear is her Auntie May, who's just this like larger middle-aged lady that just wants to hug and kiss her. That doesn't last very long because she drops it. They're like throwing it around, and Fangula grabs it. Behind him, this woman vampire, she appears behind him, and he's like, oh god, no. My ex-wife. Is that joke too old for the target audience for this?
No, for sure not, because at this point, we had already been raised on a bunch of stuff that was, like, kid-friendly but made for adults. I Love Lucy and Leave It to Beaver. I was expecting it to be his wife, considering how much everyone in that fucking mansion runs from their problems.
Yes.
I was really glad that it was his ex-wife. And he said
Yes.
something about, like, I've been trying to get away from her for 5,000 years or something.
That was good. I like Fangula's the most, which is a problem because his sucked.
I would like to propose Drew's as the worst.
Yes. The next one we get is Mum's I'm Not Scared of Anything. He's like, I've been alive for 10,000 years or something like that. Yeah, he picks it up and a giant pair of scissors comes after him. That's better.
Right. Well, he throws it at Flabber, who opens up his stomach Majin Buu style.
Yes, and
let
misses it.
Pass it through.
Yeah.
And he's
And
like,
the
way I'm touching that.
Yeah, the
So,
one relief of this
immediately-
episode is that Flabber never reveals his
Right.
biggest fear.
It's either a relief or the biggest disappointment.
That would be the opportunity to just show some eldritch horror.
Right. Go ham.
Yes. Just cut away. Don't even show it. Just like show him grab it. Show everyone's reactions.
Like
And
a
then-
shadow comes over the room. Like,
Yeah, and
you
then
just see a hallway.
Just
like,
everyone screams, and then just cuts to him like it's sitting on the table in between all of them, and them all just like, we will never speak of this. Like that could be pretty funny. We cut to the Magnivores talking to Vexor, explaining what they did. They explain that they left the brain in there and that it's a spy device and they can see everything that's going on. And then we cut back and we see the monsters and the kids are like, I don't know what the logic was, but they take it to the comic shop. The whole time that they're on the way to the comic shop,
It's like the most infuriating minute of my night.
yeah,
right
they're
there.
they're passing it between each other. Drew can just telekinetic it.
They think that their only solution to this problem is, hey, since we can't hold on to it for more than like half a second, let's just play hot potato with it. And then we'll just like take a step and pass. Whenever not only do you have somebody with telepathy that could levitate it into, I don't know, a container, Roland, by himself, he could get it to the comic shop because he could just keep passing it between his hands super fast.
Drew holds on to this fucking brain for too long. A giant stalk of broccoli comes after him.
He holds it no longer than...
Right, like maybe a second or two. So they leave it at the comic shop in just one of the drawers. The kids fucking leave comic shop entirely, and Nano picks it up. 3 ninjas appear. Why is her biggest fear ninjas?
I think
wouldn't
that
it be?
one is one of the ones that makes like the better amount of sense. Think about it. She has got to be so developed. We already know she has nerves of steel.
Right.
So like she actually just has an irrational fear of ninjas, and that's why she took up martial arts, is so she could conquer that fear.
Yeah, and like as soon as this happens, Dicehead runs into the comic shop. And he's an idiot when he doesn't have his brain in. So he talks like a surfer dude. He doesn't really know what's going on. Nano like threatens him and it doesn't do anything. And the kids grab the brain and run out. And then we get another chase sequence of them. They go through like an industrial park or something. And Dicehead
As kids often do.
Right, like Dicehead is for some reason a hell of a lot slower.
Hey, wait up! Come on, man, this is a drag!
Plowing through cardboard boxes, empty cardboard boxes.
Empty card. It's always empty card.
They get to like a spot where they're just gonna have to fight him because they drop the brain, which they shouldn't.
Drew, this one time, Joe tosses him the orb, and he just, like, hits it towards fucking No Brain over there.
Oops.
Dicehead picks it up and he takes his skull off, like the dice skull thing off, puts the dome on the top of his neck, and then puts the head back over it. And suddenly he speaks eloquently and has telekinetic powers, so he, like, does he attack the kids first or do they just transform? I think they just transform.
I don't think...
The song counter goes up to 26. They transform, Dicehead throws him around, literally just throwing him around, and we get some of the worst edits of the show so far.
Yeah, it's very jarring. Dicehead, whenever his Japanese footage was there, didn't it look like, it looked more purpley and, like, vibrant and, like, flamboyantly
Yes, it did.
cool.
It did.
Like, I would have much preferred the Japanese footage for the entire thing, kind of like they did to the, what was it, the last one? Where it was, like, every footage of the bad guy was Japanese footage.
Dicehead puts them in chains.
They're watching this. The bad guys
Yes.
are still watching this in their catacombs. They see all three of them glowing up, getting chained from the POV of the Dice Man, Andrew Dice Gay,
That's
as
the one.
I'm calling him now.
Hey,
Dicehead doesn't really, like, fight. He just kind of throws them around. So when they break out of the chains, he's fucked. And they break out of the chains with the power of friendship.
Concentrate, guys. If we believe we can beat him, we can do it.
They basically, like, they blast him a couple times with their sonic laser blasters, and then they pull out their beetle battlers, which are their, like, unique weapons on their
They're just
wrists.
baseball bats with beetle logos on them.
yeah,
It's just
that's
the, like...
what I use to defend my home, and yet here you stand, shaming me.
The Beetleborgs destroy Dicehead with their beetle battlers, one at a time. Really,
Not even
Joe
a
gets
problem.
the final shot. Without him, like, telekinesing everybody, which apparently is destroyed with the power of friendship and caring.
They bust out of the chains, no problem.
Because and the brain falls out and falls on the ground and cracks into
As
pieces.
brains are wont to do.
Yes. Then we cut to the comic shop, and they're having this celebration, and they're all in matching blue and yellow tuxedos.
Joe is surprisingly short for the amount of growth that Drew and Roland have had.
They are all dancing shittily like Roland's dad was earlier to the same rap song.
Manos in the house, now don't mess around for the charity jam. I got to really give dollars for the homeless folks. You know what I mean? Don't give me no jails, just a lot of mean green.
You saw my blinker, bitch.